able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Magda Bakali, and I work for Stimuli for Social Change. We are partners of the consortium of the AfriConEU project, and I'm just going to go over the project very briefly. The project creates the first Transcontinental Academy of Networking Academy between Africa and Europe for DICs. So it aspires to create the first academy, like I said, to support African and European digital innovation hubs in capacity building, knowledge sharing, networking, collaboration, and joint projects in venture development. So my slides are not moving. I was gonna go over the two flagship programs we have and the timeline we have set. I'm sorry, give me 1 second, please. I apologize. All right. I'm having some technical difficulties. All right. The main objective of the project is the academy itself, and it means to facilitate knowledge and experience sharing, drive the development of mutually beneficial partnerships, and support the creation of collective projects to boost the digital economy, empowerment of youth and women, and foster innovation and growth. This is our consortium, as you can see, spread around different countries. We have 4 country partners in Africa, in Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Tanzania, and then the rest of the partners are spread around Europe. There is 5 main phases of our project. The first one was the analysis of the context and state of the arts, to see the situation of DICs in all the African countries, as well as in Europe. In the second phase, we developed the AfriConEU Networking Academy based on the themes that have been set in proposal stage of the project. And we came up with 2 different flagship programs. I'm going to go over them in a minute. So we are now on phase 3 of the rollout, implementation, and assessment of the project, which means that we have started already implementing our activities. This masterclass is one of the activities we have designed for the community of the AfriConEU project. Second, the number 4 phase is the community development and results uptake. And the phase number 5 is a horizontal phase aiming at communication and dissemination, which aims at making our activities and our goals known to the rest of the world. The Networking Academy is consists of the capacity building flagship program that includes 12 local workshops, 20 webinars, and 8 masterclasses. I believe we have implemented over 11 activities so far. We also have the Transcontinental Partnership Development Flagship Program that includes the international brokerage event that our partner DPXL is organizing, and we're contributing. And it's going to take place in November 2nd and 3rd in Bologna, Italy, and we're very excited about that. So you're all invited to attend. It's going to be a very interesting event with exciting speakers, and you can find more information about it on our social media. Then the same flagship program includes 4 bootcamps and the final capitalization event. As you can see, our AfriConEU community includes a lot of stakeholders. It has to do with networks, the Pan-African network, policymakers, startups, and entrepreneurs, investors, and big networks, of course. And we are doing activities that are inclusive to incorporate groups of women and youth, especially in our in every activity we implement. So our themes of the capacity building program, the first one is business development models and multi-actor approach. That under this category fall 5 webinars, 3 local workshops, and 2 masterclasses. The second theme is technology transfer of innovative technologies. The third one is startup financial support. And I believe this masterclass for today is falling under this category. And the fourth theme is digital and entrepreneurial skills development. We have tried to include all sorts of activities under each theme to offer different perspectives of these thematic categories. The second flagship program is Transcontinental Partnership. The first theme is towards a common digital market and a connected startup ecosystem. The second is digitalization jobs for the 21st century and employment opportunities. The third one is business and investment opportunities in the African market. And the fourth one is scouting digital entrepreneurs and startups in the African market. So our bigger events fall under this category. It's our brokerage event, the 4 bootcamps that will be organized next July in Africa, and our final capitalization event. So these events focus more, even more on networking and creating synergies, and all the activities will fall under these main categories described here. This is our calendar that we develop in a planning stage, and I think we're falling quite well. We're now in October, as you can see, and you can see all our events scheduled for October, and everything else that is scheduled to happen after October. As you can see, we have a good number of events per month, including local workshops that take place on site in organized by our African partners, and the rest of our activities take place online, like the webinars and masterclasses, and of course the international brokerage event that will be taking place on site, and we also include other parallel events happening in our African partner countries. The main things about our registration to attend is that the academy activities are free to participate in, and you need to register in advance to access. You can find the link to our and the calendar on our website, AfriConEU.eu, as you can see here. So you're all welcome to register and attend. Thank you very much for your attention. This is all from me.
Thank you, Magda, for providing information about our project to the one who didn't hear it, and to invite people to our next events, because in Networking Academy we have a huge diapason of different events with different topics. So join us on next events also, please. And now we are stick to the agenda. We are going to our speaker, and so Valentina, the floor is yours. Thank you. You are muted.
Okay. You see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. You hear me well?
Yes. We are not. No. Now we are seeing in full presentation mode. Thank you.
Yes. So I am going to present today, as it was announced, the let's say innovative financing alternatives for startups or for entrepreneurial ideas. What is an entrepreneurial idea? Obviously, before going to speak about financing, we have to, let's say, have a common definition of what we can consider an entrepreneurial idea. We can have an idea, but when we start thinking of how to realize it in practice, so how to realize a business or how to realize something that creates value, economic or social value, in that case, we are speaking about an entrepreneurial idea. So an entrepreneurial idea is an innovative idea that we put in practice to offer something that is different, and that provides us the opportunity to create a business that works or creates something in a market. To turn an entrepreneurial idea into a business, into an entrepreneurial venture or a startup business, however, requires different certain expertises. And the idea itself is not enough without the right background to support it. So having an idea doesn't mean that we will have success in the business. We can create this business because there are a lot of things, a lot of issues we have to take in consideration to turn the idea into a venture. And one of the most used models that helps us to turn an idea in an entrepreneurial idea or entrepreneurial business is the conceptualization of the so-called business model canvas, in which we put our idea in a screen, as you see here, and we try to identify who are going to be our customers, which is the value that we are going to create for our customers, how we interrelate and communicate with them, as well as which are the main activities and resources that we need to put together in this entrepreneurial idea in order to create the business. And all these activities obviously will help us to reflect on our idea, to measure its feasibility to create a business, to create an entrepreneurial startup. And also these elements obviously will be associated with costs. So cost for creating, for initiating this new venture journey, let's say, that obviously will require financing. The financing for realizing such an idea that we have in our mind, that at the end, tomorrow, when we will implement it, will provide us also some revenues. I don't know if you are, if you have used or you know this this model. This is a very useful model for entrepreneurial idea. However, we will focus today on financing the business idea, the entrepreneurial idea, because of the different activities and resources that we need to put together from the starting point up to the moment in which we go to the market with our entrepreneurial idea. Obviously, in financing the business idea is one of the crucial elements of realizing our entrepreneurial business. This because obviously the financial part is crucial for putting in practice our ideas. In fact, there are different ways today that we can use for financing innovative ideas. One method is bootstrapping, so a way in which we finance our idea by a self-sustaining process, or by loans, guaranteed loans, for example, when we borrow money from a bank or from other organizations, as this is, let's say, the traditional way we used. However, it has been proved, and it has been proved that the experience tells us that it is very difficult to obtain a loan from banks or from other companies for a startup, because there is the lack of, let's say, trust in what the startup, a new company, a new team of persons is going to do with their business idea. Another way is friends and family. Again, this is one of the traditional ways for financing some entrepreneurial ideas. So by parents or by our friends, we can get some money from them, or some new innovative ways for financing innovative ideas. The ones that we see today that are that have exploded in the market, that are incubators, when these are dedicated mainly to the startups, to the so these new companies called startups, and they focus, these incubators will also provide this financial part by also creating the opportunity to offer some research and business consultation for early stage companies. Crowdfunding, that is the alternative, the method, the approach for financing innovative ideas, that we will see it more in detail today. So the practice of raising a financial contribution from a large number of people that will be confident in the idea that we are presenting to them, or angel investors that are accredited investors with legal ownership equity, and venture capitalists that they become part of investors of our company, and so they invest in fact in our startup, and they will be part of the growth capital of our company. So we are going to focus today in the crowdfunding method as a disruptive way of financing innovative ideas. Disruptive because up to the moment in which we had this new approach for funding the entrepreneurial ideas, mainly we were focused in traditional ways of financing businesses. That was banks, loans from banks. However, this was a very difficult process, or let's say a process that in many cases was failed, because banks, as I said before, requires many documents and many assurances in order, many let's say security elements in order to provide you loans. And being a startup company, in many cases these startups and these innovative teams do not have all the requirements and do not satisfy all the criteria that that banks or other credit companies ask for. Therefore, the crowdfunding emerged as a new form, as an alternative, innovative form for financing new business ideas. And the crowdfunding more or less started to be developed in 2010, and it was also related with the concepts of open innovation or crowdsourcing that are used in the innovation management practices to collaborate with the crowds to create new concepts, new ideas, new business models, etc., etc. And in that path, we have also the emergence of crowdfunding. So crowdsourcing and crowdfunding, in fact, are related, are two concepts that are interrelated, while crowdsourcing means that we realize new ideas by collecting the suggestion, opinions of crowds, so different people that might have experience, might have expertise on the issue we are asking them to contribute, and so we create something that can be more innovative and feasible for the market. In the same way, crowdfunding means we get funding from the crowds, so from people that we might know them or we might not know them. We will see it in a while. What does this mean, or who are these people that contribute in the crowdfunding process? So the crowdfunding, in fact, represents a break from the recent past. As in the past, is there any question? Because I don't see you, and so I don't know if I'm hearing some voices.
In the chat, there are no questions.
Okay. Fundraising comes from below. It starts with people who believe in the proposal idea that we are presenting to them. There are three ingredients that comes together in a crowdfunding process. There is the idea, the new innovative idea that we have, and we try to define and to describe, as I described before with this conceptualization using, for example, the business model canvas. There are the actors and there are the platforms. There are the platforms. Who are the actors of a crowdfunding? There are two main groups of actors in the crowdfunding process. There are creators, anyone who has a project that wants to get finance. We want to realize a business from that project or from that idea. And the other group of people are the investors or the crowd, from which also this term takes the name. So crowdfunding, investors. Investors are any user, so any person that can, could, or wants to access a crowdfunding platform and believes in the in some way in what we are presenting to them as project idea, business idea. And the other actor or the other element in the crowdfunding process are the platforms. So where does these two groups come together? Where do they match? They match and they make this, let's say, transaction in the platforms, in the so-called crowdfunding platforms that are many today. So the creators will publish their projects in these platforms that are well known, and they have also their own network over there, and they in this way will give the right visibility to their idea, will expose their idea in these platforms and try to collect the financial means according to their needs from the investors, so from the crowd that will be in these platforms or that you will create in the crowdfunding process that you will activate. How does this crowdfunding platforms work? So this crowdfunding process. Also here we have a business model that is applied to the crowdfunding process. So the platforms generally withhold a percentage of the total funding that is raised. And this is different from one platform to another, and we will see some example today. The creators are the owners of their idea, and they are the only person, so they have the right to get and to manage all the budget that will be raised from the platforms. Investors, instead, they donate an amount of money that they decide to, and in exchange, they can receive different rewards that can be moral rewards or recognition or gadget or other benefits. So also be investors, be part of the investors of the company. This depends on the kind and the type of the crowdfunding process that we activate. And we will see which kind of crowdfunding opportunities, alternatives we know today or are available today in the market. Before going to see in detail, so these elements of crowdfunding, I would like also to say that crowdfunding is not just for fundraising. So the objective of a crowdfunding is not just to raise money, but in many cases, more important is the fact that crowdfunding is used for launching or sustaining a startup, for getting known, for presenting. It's like a way of presenting their innovative ideas to the crowd, and also getting some financial means. However, it's more important to let know to the people about our idea, and also to, for example, use that part of crowdsourcing I said before, so collect opinions, suggestions, how, for example, we can also improve this business idea that we have conceptualized and we are presenting it to the crowd. So it has objective to make promotion, but also to make some testing. So if we have, for example, realized already a kind of prototype for our business idea, and we present it in the crowdfunding platforms, In this case, a part of raising some money, we will also test the market validity of our idea, because the persons that will come together, will network, and will sustain financially our innovative idea, will also provide their suggestion or opinions about the validity of the idea, about the usability of this idea, or the functionalities of the idea that we are presenting to them. So the crowdfunding process is not just for fundraising, but many times is more important for the promotion, for the marketing, or for the testing our ideas that we are developing, being in some initial stages of the development of our business idea. So yes, crowdfunding is a disruptive innovation in the financial market, and you see in this slide, according to some recent research, that the global crowdfunding market is valid almost $13 billion in 2021, and it is expected to grow with growth rate of 11.7% by 2027. This to demonstrate that in fact the crowdfunding market is very important, that it is growing. Year after year, and this growth has been more remarkable also after so during the COVID and after the COVID situation. Who participate in the crowdfunding market, or who are those let's say users and users of the crowdfunding market, those who publish and who ask for funding in this crowdfunding market? There are many kind of users, many kind of so-called customers in this market, and they range from entrepreneurship to persons that work in social causes, in movies, in cultural heritage, with music, with technology, with publishing, etc., etc., etc. And in fact, again, according to some recent statistical research, it could be seen that mostly the gaming those that work in the gaming industry are witnessing the most successful fundraising campaigns done in this crowdfunding platform, but also those that are working with innovative ideas, and mainly those that are considering technology as an important element for their innovative ideas. This growth, this high level growth of the crowdfunding market is also due to the fact that many social platforms also are acting as free of cost promotion resources for crowdfunding organization. I guess maybe you all know that it is now possible to make crowdfunding campaigns to on Facebook, on Twitter, mainly so in these platforms that in fact they are social media platforms, but they have also integrated this part of this other element in their platforms. Some of the most known crowdfunding platforms are Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, and others, as you see here. So there is also a multitude of crowdfunding platforms that have been created in the recent years, so to sustain these all these end users that ask for funding for financing their ideas. And the ideas that gets financed are diversified, and they go from technology-based ideas so business ideas, also to social projects and to environmental projects, cultural projects, and so on, as you see here. Or there is not a limit also of the money, so the range of the funds that could be collected in this crowdfunding platform. So there is no limit. It depends on the kind of project you are presenting, and also on the motivation of what you are going to do with that amount of money that you are asking to the network, to the crowd, to finance you, because you have to make some to provide motivation and to describe why, for what, and in what way you are going to use the funds that you will collect. There are crowdfunding campaigns used for tourism, for example, for wine, in the wine sector, or for environmental issues, for cultural issues, etc., etc., etc. However, we have to distinguish four typologies of crowdfunding based on the type of persons that will get in this, that will get part of the network to sustain our idea, and the kind of the reward or the connection that we will establish with this person that will provide us some fundings for our project. The four types of crowdfunding are donation-based, reward-based, equity-based, and lending-based. What all these four types mean? Donation-based are used for raising funds exclusively for the charitable donation. So as the name says, it's just a donation. So we have different platforms that are focused just on this. And in that case, we just make a donation for sustaining some kind of campaigns for environment, or for illness, or for any tragedy, for example, or for helping persons in different persons or companies in obtaining some of their personal objectives, or also organization, as you know. The reward crowdfunding are those kind of crowdfunding campaigns that are realized in these platforms, in which it is foreseen a reward to the persons that will provide us some funding in our crowdfunding campaign. So every let's say donation is matched by a reward that can be intangible or material. Equity crowdfunding is when we raise funds in the form of financing. So it corresponds to an investment. So we will take part of the profit of this organization, because we are participating in this equity crowdfunding campaign. The lending crowdfunding, indeed, it is another type of crowdfunding alternative, in which the financing is raised as a loan against interest and repayment of the principal of the principles that have been loaned to us. So this is again a kind of approach used by the banks, so they lend us money for realizing our idea, but in this case, who is lending are different persons. So the crowd that will lend us, for example, 100 euros, but in this case, we do not provide them a reward in that moment in which they provide us this money, but instead the contracting between the creator and the investor is like a loan. So we have to repay to them the 100 euros plus the interest for this money that we get from them in the lending crowdfunding platform. Again, in these four types of crowdfunding strategies, we have also the different ways of getting this money that we will collect, we will realize through the crowdfunding campaign. Okay, in case in donation, so we get the money and that's all. But in the case of the other types of crowdfunding, we have also to see for the different platforms how we are going to be the owners of the money that have been collected. And also here, there are different ways to propose a project with a simple donation, take all, recurring donation, or all or nothing. What does it mean? Simple donation means that this is a way. This is a way that is suited mainly for social or personal fundraising projects, and you define the deadline of the that you put for your project. You cannot enter a budget or a reward, so you just raise the money and you get this money from the platform in the moment in which your crowdfunding campaign will be closed, or you will close it. The funds you raise are immediately available to you. Generally, the platforms retain, the platforms through which we raise money, so PayPal or wire transfer or the use of cards, will retain 3% fee for this donation. In the take-all alternative mode is a way in which we have campaigns that involve a reward. So in these cases, we have to define a budget that we want to collect. So for example, 10,000 euros. And we have to put this budget in the platform in which we are asking for crowdfunding. And we have to indicate at least one type of reward that we will offer to the persons that will provide us the money. Take all means that we raise funds even if we don't reach the budget with a different method, with a method. So although we have fixed as our objective 10,000 euros, if we also if we are able just to collect or to have 5,000 euros, for example, we will take it from this crowdfunding campaign. So we are not, let's say, constrained to reach the 10,000 euros that we have put it as budget for our project. Recurring donation is another type of crowdfunding campaign that is used for those projects that need to raise funds in a periodic and continuous way. So these are kind of crowdfunding projects that will be financed in a continuous way, and we get this money every, for example, 30 days, and we use them for the issues, the problems for which we want to solve. So like, for example, these are mainly used for research in the research related with the health, or for different social issues, or for example for sustaining some kind of disastrous events, and so we get money to help, for example, the to sustain, to help the reconstruction of territories or areas that have been damaged from different disastrous events, for example. And the other one that is also frequently used and mostly used is the alternative all or nothing. This again means that we set the budget that we want to reach out for our crowdfunding campaign, so the financial goal that we want to achieve. We also define the timing for which we want to collect this amount of money. Again, let's suppose 10,000 euros, for example, in 120 days. This is the most used, in fact, method for the crowdfunding. And all or nothing means that if we reach this goal, we will take this money and we will use for our objective of business idea financing. Otherwise, if we do not reach this objective, the money that we have collected will get back again to all the persons that have funded, that have sustained our idea, our crowdfunding campaign. And also in this case, many platforms retains 5% fee for the transactions that are realized in this crowdfunding campaign. This is the most used, in fact, method for making crowdfunding campaigns, and these mainly also for new teams that present ideas, for startups, because we have to fix the amount of money that we need for realizing some objectives we have defined in our crowdfunding campaign, and also we need to fix a time period for which we want to get this money, and then after this period that we get the money, we start let's say the execution phase. So we start realizing those activities for which we are collecting this money. And again, in this all or nothing, we have to wait for the 120 days to finish, to be passed, in order then to get this money and to use them. So we cannot take this money before or just in the moment in which a person will make us a donation, will make us a funding or will sustain financially our idea. We will get this money when the deadline will be closed, and only if we have reached the objective that we have fixed before. This means that we do not have to collect 9,000 euros, for example, so less than 10. But if we get more, okay, it's okay. We can get all this money for financing our idea. And this means that many people have also, let's say, have trusted or are confident in the proposal, in the entrepreneurial idea that we have presented. This kind of crowdfunding campaigns, typologies of crowdfundings, in fact, could be also used by the same startup, but in different moments of their let's say development, of their growth of the startup. In the initial phases of startups, so when we have just an idea that we want to develop, it will be maybe better, or most of the teams or startups used to be based their crowdfunding campaigns in the donation rewards alternative, in this kind of crowdfunding typology. Then when we as a startup team, as a team that have an innovative idea, in the moment in which we are more confident in our idea, and we see that there is market potential for our idea, and we also establish that we will get some revenues from our idea, then it is better to use the crowdfunding model based on rewards. So we ask people to finance our idea, and in exchange, we provide them some rewards. What these rewards are about? The rewards can be of different types. So, for example, I have an example that I will explain to you at the end, but just now for understanding what these rewards could be based on, is that the reward is not money that we will give back to our investors, but instead there are, for example, a lower price for a new product that we will put in the market with our startup idea. So the persons that will sustain our idea in the moment of the crowdfunding campaign, in the moment in which we will provide to the market our products, they will get this product with 50%, for example, discount price for this product. Or, for example, I had a student here at university that he was writing a book, and he needed some obviously financial means for paying the publishing house for publishing its book. And so what he did is that he organized a crowdfunding campaign in the social media and asked to their friends and to his network to sustain this part of cost of financial mean that he needed for publishing the book, by offering to them, for example, based on the amount of money that they that each person raised to him or funded to him, he provided some new services or some discounts some discounts for the book in the moment in which the book will be published and in the market. And in some cases, so for example, if he decided that his book will cost 20 euros, for example, and some people provide to him because they were a friend or because they wanted to help him in this journey, they raised 30 euros to him. Obviously, in this case, the reward, for example, used by this person in that case was to in the moment in which the book was published, to provide a copy of the book without any payment, without any price. So it was a gift then that this student realized for the person that in this moment, in this difficulty moment of publishing the book, he do not have the money, and so he needed this crowd, let's say, sustainment in order to publish the book. And then in that moment, he can also provide some rewards to the people that helped him in reaching this objective. But in other cases, for example, as we are speaking about businesses, so you understand that the rewards can be of different types. So offering some services for them, or giving to them the priority for the product, or making some discounts for the product. One time, this business idea will produce a product for the market. Then the other kind of crowdfunding models, the debt equity, or the debt yes and equity based crowdfunding. These are used more when the startup, in fact, is in phase of validation, expansion, and maturity. So we get, in this case, investors and also banks to finance our progress, the growth of our company. So according to the statistics, according to researches, the most known crowdfunding platforms are Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, Crowdfunder, Syndicate Room, Crowdcube, and so on. This is based, this ranking is based on the number of people that come together in these platforms, and also based on the funds that are raised in these platforms. Kickstarter platform is a platform that was born in New York in 2009, and it is mainly a funding platform for creative projects. And it puts together crowdfunding campaigns that finance activities or project idea related to films, games and music, but also ideas related to art, design, technology, etc. So it's a very large platform and allows, let's say, different kind of creative projects. How does this platform function? Because each platform has its own rules of functioning. The target location is global, so anyone in all parts of the world, from Africa, Asia, European Union, every angle of the globe could enter and could ask to the audience of these platforms for raising money. The platform takes 5% of total funds, so this is the fee that the platform will withhold to the amount of money that have been raised through the platform. And the supporters are people or companies that promise you a certain amount of money. So all the person that use the platform, all the person that you will reach with these platforms, also going to integrate the promotion of the crowdfunding campaign with your network that you have in other social medias. The model is reward based. So here you have to make a campaign, crowdfunding campaign, in which you have to establish the rewards you provide to the people that will raise money for you. The timing is 70 days, so the campaigns will last at maximum 60 days. And the principle here is all or nothing. So you have to establish your budget you want to raise, the objective. And so if you reach that budget, you will take the money. Otherwise, you will take nothing. And this money will go again back to the persons that have raised them. Here is so you see that also the platforms have, let's say, a motivation to also help you, in fact, to raise the money, especially in these kind of platforms, because all or nothing means that they will get some profit, the 5% of total funds. Otherwise, they will not get this money. So the projects can be of all kinds, from all over the world, and in the recent years, the Kickstarter platform has had an increase of 18% from 2017, and the backers have pledged nearly $200.9 million, especially to the category related to the games. So the games category, for example, that you see here, are the most used one that realize crowdfunding campaigns in this platform. Another well-known global well-known platform is Indiegogo. Mainly this, as you see, is for entrepreneurs, and this is a platform that help you to launch your business. So it's mainly for startups, for teams that just have an idea and want to find their first customers and to get known and to share their ideas with other networks, with other people, with the people that are part of this the network of this platform. Indiegogo is born in 2018, also in San Francisco. This is also a global crowdfunding campaign and contains mainly projects that are related with entrepreneurship ideas, creativity, but also some charitable causes. Also, this platform has applies fees for the money that is raised, 5%, and the time is 120 days. So a campaign will last at maximum 120 days. And the kind of approach used in this platform is donation. So they disburse immediately the amount of money raised, even if it isn't, if the budget is not reached. So this is not like the other case here, in which we have principle or nothing, but this is based in principle. You get what you collect, what have been raised for your idea, without a prefix, let's say, a predefined objective of the budget to be raised. And also this platform, according to the data, it is being highly used by, largely used by many organizations, entrepreneurs, startups. And you see that in 2018, for example, the individual contributions reached nearly the individual contribution has been made by nearly 1.4 million people. That has contributed to raise about $2.1 million for the different projects that have been published or that have been proposed in these platforms. In it, also different, let's say, countries, different nations has also their, let's say, national platforms that are used, for example, for the people living in these countries. Like in Italy, for example, the most used platforms that we have are the ones that you see here: Epela, Bora Causa, Crowdfunding, Mama Crowd, or CrowdFundMe, that is mainly donation based. So apart from the global platforms, each country has its own specific ones in which people speaking the same language also used with more facility these kind of platforms, and they are promoted and known from, let's say, local people, and many times people also prefer to use some local platforms, national. Okay. Is there any question?
Yes, we have some questions in chat. And Tanya asked if I follow some creators with disruptive ideas besides crowdfunding. Are there any other disruptive funding approaches being tested, implemented nowadays? Can you share some examples? And is there a place where we can find some list description of these innovative funding approaches?
Yes, I have an example, in fact. Yes. At the end of this presentation, I will provide you an example, obviously, and about when you can find all the explanation of all these platforms. Yes, you can just click on the Indiegogo or Kickstarter platform, and you have the information over there about how these platforms will work on. And also I can provide you some, let's say, reading papers about the crowdfunding. Other disruptive funding for startups at the moment, part of those that I mentioned in the first slide. I don't think there are others at the moment. We can add something about fintech, but again, it's a kind of crowdfunding version also over there. I don't know if okay, about the examples, yes, I am going to provide you example on that. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And also Tanya say thank you. So I think she's satisfied.
I'm reading
with your
some
answers.
questions here, maybe.
No, this was the only questions. I was also asked the participants if they have any experience with crowdfunding yet, if they support some ideas already, or they want to support their idea in the past. But I get no responses, except Joe said that he worked with a number of startups and companies with successful crowdfunding, both equity and reward. And
okay, here are some
and we have also
description about some platforms used here in Italy. Yes.
Yes, we have one comment.
Yes,
I can. Please select.
Yes.
Your call. Sorry, I don't see the whole name. You raise your hands.
Yes, thank you. Good morning from the Gambia, Joko Labs Banjul. Thank you, Professor Valentina, for the presentation. I just wanted to talk about or get your opinion in terms of if you have to do your own, develop your own crowd platform based on your own context, what will be your advice, especially when you work with diverse startups and you want to tap into your local ecosystem? Because just as you mentioned some crowdfunding platforms in Italy, I think those are uniquely for Italian startups. So how will you advise an innovative op to go about it to develop their own locally?
Okay, I have here in the second part of my presentation, in fact, how to make a crowdfunding campaign, how to start, how to publish, and how to manage it, because in fact, realize a crowdfunding campaign, it might seem simple, but in fact, it's not easy, because it's not as just publishing your project and leaving it over there and putting that you are going to reach 10,000 euros goal, for example, for you the next day. But indeed, it takes a strategy, it needs preparation, it needs a clear understanding of what you want to get with this crowdfunding campaign, what you are promoting, what you would like to realize with your business idea, and which of the crowdfunding platforms you will use, because as you see, there are many crowdfunding platforms at our disposition. So before start a crowdfunding campaign, you must first think of it, create it, and define what you are raising money for. So explain who you are as a startup, as a team, what's your business idea, what you hope to achieve and what you need to get there. And what is more important in a crowdfunding campaign is the story. So when you started, why you started this, why you have this business idea, because of a problem, because of an opportunity, because of an alternative. So which is the gap you are going to fill in, or what makes possible that you have this, let's say, lightening in your mind to create this, to have this these ideas. So it's important, first of all, to define these elements of your business idea and to explicate to yourself, to the startup team, to the person that are realizing this crowdfunding campaign, all the elements of their business model that will pertain this business idea. So some factors to consider for realizing a crowdfunding campaign is that you have to consider that the crowdfunding campaign in fact needs a strategy for communication and marketing. It's important to define an operative plan for obtaining those strategic objectives. It's important to choose the tools to use for making the communication, the marketing of your idea, video, meetings, workshop, and make some preparations for make the preparation of the different multimedia content that you have to upload and to enter in the platform time in a continuous basis, time by time, and also defining the team that is going to work in this crowdfunding, Okay. Sorry, one moment, because I don't see some slides that I have prepared, because maybe I put them like, okay, just one moment.
And in this moment that you prepare your slides, Joel, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I think Poncelet's point was leaning toward how do you create a crowdfunding platform for other participants, for other people to participate in. And I think I'd like to say, I think that's a bit outside the scope of this conversation. That's an extremely complicated technical activity. My suggestions personally would be, one, be very careful of the local laws. There's a lot of variance when you start to talk, especially about equity crowdfunding. But I would also suggest maybe trying to pair up with a partner that has done that kind of thing in the past. Really look at existing platforms that have done that kind of work, either by using what they've already built and leveraging that, or by getting their experience and kind of building on that work. Those are my suggestions in terms of developing a platform. But like I said, it's a complicated process and probably outside of the talk that we're having right now. So.
Yeah, if the question was to realize a platform, maybe I understand it, I didn't understand it well. If it is to make a platform, I think that yes, it's very difficult task, especially in this moment, because of the laws, because of the fact that as I explained a little bit with some numbers, it's also a competitive market, because there are already many crowdfunding platforms that exist today. So first of all, you have, in the local basis, you have to take in consideration the laws, and obviously you have to define, let's say, your business model also in this case, because this can be, again, an entrepreneurial idea, and you have to see what value or what new contribution you can provide with your crowdfunding platform. that the other crowdfunding platforms also at your local level do not provide. So again, it's a business idea. You have to elaborate and to make all those analyses that are necessary for a business. So the market, the past analysis, political legislation, environmental, etc., and also see the feasibility, the cost and the feasibility of these platforms in the local area. And obviously, yes, speak with persons that already have undertaken and realized such crowdfunding platforms. It's not a simple business, however, because as you see, these platforms are like a kind of, let's say, bank. They get money and they distribute money from, so intermediaries, financial intermediaries at the end are these platforms. Okay, so continuing in our crowdfunding digital strategy. So it's not simply so putting your idea in these platforms, but you have to tell in a good way your story. So you have to get content, you have to be trustable by the others, and you have to convince the others that your idea is feasible, is the right one, is what the market wants. Consider the objectives I said at the initial of this presentation, that it is a test for the market, that it is a way of getting known, to create the network for your product and not only just financing. It's important also to consider which is the network that you can bring together to sustain your idea. So you have to consider the online presence that you, the team of the startup, has, which is, for example, the social media that you mostly use and in which you have the most of the parents, of the friends, of the other companies that you work with them or that you collaborate, that can sustain your business idea, because you put the business idea in a platform, but then you have to let's say share this campaign done, for example, in Kickstarter or Epela in Italy. You have to share it with your social media network, so on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Also, it's important to decide if the rewards are necessary or not. Again, according to experience and according to the research, generally the rewards will fasten the processes. And also it's important to define if we use those platforms in which you get all or nothing, or you get all and in which you have to define a budget and the timing for your project, or in those in which you will have any timing and you get just what you raise. The timing of the campaign, generally it is suggested to define it and define also the content that you are going to produce in a continuous basis. Define the timing is important also because the most relevant moments and at the campaign and at the end of the campaign. So when you publish, when you start sharing your crowdfunding campaign done in these platforms with your network, you will get the more people that will at the initial phases, they will sustain and they will raise money for you. Then you will get a little bit, let's say, people will forget about you. So you have to add new contents to update your campaign. And at the end of the campaign, again, you have to make more promotion and marketing and to reach the objective that you have predefined for your crowdfunding campaign. So the two moments in which much of the funds are raised are at initial at the end of the campaigns. Again, for explaining the importance of the online presence, according to the research done by the platform itself. For example, has just, okay, let's suppose 10 friends in Facebook, he has 9% probability to achieve the objective he has defined in the crowdfunding campaign. And if he has 1,000, the probability is 40%. So as much larger the social media network, much probability we have for getting our ideas financed with the crowdfunding campaigns. Videos are important for telling the story, and this has been proved in 115% of cases. Also the updates are very important for the performance and for the success of our fundraising campaigns. As I told you at the start of this lecture, I have followed a startup team working in the definition and realization of a business idea that was related, in fact, with the creation of an app for the smartphone to make the detox, let's say, from the dependence that we have with our smartphones. And this startup team, at the starting point of their business idea, realized the crowdfunding campaign that I'm going to share with you to explain how it has been organized in the EPELA platform. I don't know if you see my screen. You see the internet page, the browser I have opened now?
Not yet.
Do you see it now?
We see only a PowerPoint presentation. And the previous slide, factors to consider.
Just a moment. Now?
No, we can see it.
Okay. Here is the web page of the crowdfunding campaign realized by this startup, called 9 Seconds. Okay, and this is done in the platform well known in Italy that is called EPELA. As you see in this case, what the startup team did, they realized a very short video to explain their business idea, and so everyone could follow it. It's just a 2 minutes video. And they explain their idea and why they are, let's say, they are considering this business idea. They explain here in video. They present the members of the team, and also they explain their idea, and the same idea again is also explained over here. So why the idea? Because of the research, because of a gap, because of the fact that we use the telephone, we use the smartphone in each moment of our life, and the app is called 9 Seconds because the attention of the people, of the persons, of the humans today is 8 seconds. That is 1 second lower than one of a fish, for example. And so for this reason, we have 9 Seconds up as name of this startup. And you have this logo that is like that explains the idea they are going to represent. So they have explained here what they are going to use. And in fact, just for explaining a little bit to you what this idea was about, they wanted to create an app, especially for students, that when they are during their exam sessions, in order to not use or to not be distracted by the different social media they have and different apps they have in their smartphones, or because of WhatsApp messages, etc., to not be distracted during the exam sessions study they have. They thought of this app to realize in their register in their smartphones, and this app will measure the time in which the students, the persons, will not use their phone, and as much as the time passes, you will collect points in your app. And this point, you will the collection of these points that you will get from the fact that you will not touch your phone, you will not use the phone, although you receive a message or whatever, is also done like a challenge with other students. And this amount of points that the people will collect then will be translated in a discount price that the student will spend later in restaurants or in a night out, let's say, after finishing their exams. And this startup was also going to make partnership with the restaurants of the local area in order to provide these discounts, and also to make the promotion of a kind of promotion of marketing of the local businesses, local restaurants in the area, that students can have these discounts because of the use of the app and the collection of these points, but also to make a promotion of the local restaurant, local food, let's say, businesses in this area. Okay, just to explain a little bit the area, the idea, and so how the crowdfunding campaign was realized by this team. They fixed an objective to reach 5,000 euros, and in the moment in which they did this crowdfunding campaign, there was a collaboration between EPELA and Poste Italiane, Italian Post, that says that the people that will set the objective of maximum 5,000 euros and will reach this amount of money, Poste Italiane will co-finance the other part. So if they reach 5,000 euros, the Poste Italiane will co-finance other 5,000 euros. So as you see here, the team was able, so they reached the objective and they get 10,000 euros and 400 for their business idea. And over here, there is the part in which you will choose the reward base for those that will provide you, will reform you, and have the options at your disposition for raising money. So the kind of funds that you can provide in this case, well, can be from 5 euros to 2,050 or more. And for each kind of these donations, the team has to establish which is the reward they will provide to the people, to the persons, or to the organizations that will provide this kind of these funds for the company. And okay, here is it in Italian, but in most cases, for example, this is the team that worked in this campaign, and the team of the startup, and for each of the amount of money, they make as rewards some services and some new functionalities that they will provide to the especially organization that will sustain their campaign. In this part are specified the objectives they have, they want to reach with the business, and also why they are organizing this crowdfunding campaign. So, which is the way how they are going to use these funds. Mainly, for example, in this case, they have defined that they need the money for the constitution of the startup, for the production, for the first production of the prototypes of this business, for the promotion, and for the development of the app. Who is the team? You have also to explain who is the team and what happens after all this this crowdfunding campaign. It's not that we put one time in a moment of time all this information over here, but we need to share this in the social media. And here you see there are all investors and persons that sustain this campaign appears here, and everybody can see and can look on who is providing money, how much, and in what way. This is just for the transparency of the crowdfunding campaign. What I want to say again for this campaign that I have personally followed with these students, with this team, is that in fact it's not simple to get all this money. I know that these guys have to share every day on the social media this campaign, and they have also to go and to make meetings with the restaurants, especially with whom they also wanted to make the partnership, and to explain their idea and to convince them about the idea that the business idea that they are proposing, or what they want to realize. And this also for saying that crowdfunding is a new innovative, alternative, digital way of financing your business. But in many cases, these need to be integrated with other marketing campaigns, promotional campaigns, and also with physical meetings, with physical presentation, with participation in workshops in which you can meet potential investors and you can explain your business idea in order that they will get in your business and sustain your business idea. Okay, just I will return to my presentation again, just for the conclusion, because I finished.
Yes, it's very interesting story you told us about crowdfunding campaign, because in my opinion, when I see all the campaigns, I thought, oh, it's so fun and I could do that also. But as you said, this is a lot of work behind the scenes, so to say, behind the story. So it's good to think about it. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, I have it in Italian because if it was in English, it was also more interesting to see this story. In fact, because yes, crowdfunding is not simple. We have to make much effort on promotion, marketing of the business idea that we publish in these crowdfunding platforms. And in fact, as I say here in this final, let's say, slide, it's all about story and also about reward and cooperation. So you have to tell your story, to clarify your goals, to target and time, to be able to communicate. So also be somewhat professional also to make the pitch, the elevator pitch for telling your story and to communicate this story. But it's also very important, the cooperation, the networking that you will create around your idea. And the networking is not just the digital one, the one that you create with your social media, but as I said before, is also by meeting persons, by participating in events or in moments in which you know you can meet your potential investors and you present your idea, you speak with them and you try to convince them to sustain or to be part of the network for your business. Okay, so just some conclusions over here. It's important to choose the right platform for your business to make your idea enticing. Keep it simple and continuously update your content, and also continue to tell your story up to the end of the crowdfunding campaign. The rewards are important as people will get more easily inside your network and sustain you. And the rewards can be of different levels, so different ways. And also it's important to spread the word, organize your outreach context, and as I said before, so not just online, but also offline. So a combination of online, offline promotion of your business idea, the entrepreneurial idea you want to realize in practice. Okay, thank you for the attention, and I am open for questions if you have, or comments or suggestion or whatever.
Thank you very much for this insightful lecture. I think that we get a lot of new knowledge. If you have any questions or comments, please do so, but I will post the link to our evaluation form in the chat for the participants. Here you go.
Okay, thank you.
And I have also the link for the speaker to fill out the evaluation form. This is the speaker. I can send you also the link on the mail. And I also will send all the participants the link on the email, but if you would like to, you could also respond it now. It will be perhaps easier for all of you that you don't know is all your opinion is fresh. And we need these evaluation forms really to evaluate on our work. And if you have any comments, will you start using crowdfund or other means for funding from now on? Do you have some idea? Do you get some knowledge?
Most of the participants are from business or from academia, or are students, or
they are
no.
As I am aware, based on the registration form, they are mostly from business, DIH, SME supporters, or they have digital innovation hubs in Europe or in Africa.
Ponslet, in your innovation hub, have you ever used crowdfunding campaign or any of the teams working in your innovation hub?
Yes, we have used crowdfunding campaigns. Mainly there was one that the UNCDF set up, with a company in Kenya and South Africa, just to try to get entrepreneurs that we work with, startups we work with, to use. So we're able to raise funding from there from some of our startups, especially those involved in female entrepreneurs involved in artisanal work like mechanic, fisheries and stuff like that. And it went well. It was a funded project by UNCDF, and well, it was good today to see the different options you gave, especially like I really liked how they did. So we're going to try that with our sometime in November. Thank you very much.
In South Africa, do you have any crowdfunding platform specific to your country? As we have
no, I'm based in the Gambia. This company came from Kenya and they work in South Africa. We don't have any specific one. The project was set up by UNCDF to try the Gambian markets, and that was how. Nothing specific for Gambia. People use GoFundMe here.
Okay, thank you.
And as we are nearing the end, I will ask you for the family photo. Or Gianna, you will do it, please?
Yes,
please,
of course.
can you turn on your camera, make one big smile?
Big smile. Okay, thanks to you all for being with us for 2 hours and for hearing me for this 1 hour and a half.
Yes, thank you.
I wish I provide you some useful insights for the crowdfunding.
I think we get a lot of good information and expand our knowledge. So thank you for that. The picture is already okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. And if you have some question, you can always ask us.
Yes, maybe Magda has something or no?
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wanted to say.
Thank you. Bye.
It was very interesting. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.